Because one of you, sitting here in this room, is a werewolf.
Hey gang, Uncle Todd here, and as we head into February, which is 1, home of Valentine's Day, and 2, Black History Month, I had originally recorded episodes for this month that I realized I can move to next month. Which is why when you get to next month, this will not be visible. And I decided to look at some Blaxploitation films. That's Blaxploitation with an X. It's very important. From the 70s. And got 2 good ones. 1 great one. And then there's Blackenstein. But we're going to start off with a personal favorite, The Beast Must Die, which stars Calvin Lockhart as a big game hunter who, after an exciting opening in which he's testing the security of his estate by being hunted, we realize that he is not actually some criminal or something that's, or this is like Most Dangerous Game where he's been brought there to be a victim. He's actually the owner, and he's brought some very interesting people over for the weekend. Like, Bennington.
Once you were United Nations delegate, till 2 members of your grubby entourage mysteriously disappeared.
There was an inquiry, and I was completely exonerated.
So completely that they threw you out of the diplomatic corps. Now you're part-time television personality, which I suppose makes you everybody's house guest.
Professor Lindquist.
Your overwhelming interest is the loup-garou.
Oh, yeah.
The what?
I prefer to call it Rolock.
There is famed musician Jan.
And the maestro here. International concert pianist. Plays all over the world. Or used to. Now there are certain European capitals where he's not welcomed anymore. Seems there were nasty killings in those cities, and always when you were playing there.
There's also Jan's former lover, also a friend of Lockhart's wife, Davina.
Because funny things happen when Davina Gilmore's in a house party, like you end up, I guess, short. Some poor man or woman, quite dead, and half eaten.
After revealing that he thinks one of his guests is a werewolf and he plans to hunt that werewolf, Lockhart, playing Tom Newcliffe, that's his name, self-made billionaire and big game hunter enthusiast, he and his wife Caroline have an argument over this whole thing, and she begs him to just drop this and have a pleasant weekend.
Things are easy to give up, but a dream of hunting and facing what no man has ever trapped before, to give up that dream, no way.
Yes, that brings us to a very important subtext to this film, obsession. And as the film progresses, we will see how that obsession destroys people. But that's for later in the film. Right now, Jan tries to escape.
Where were you going?
I was going to the village.
You were trying to...
After bringing Jan back, Peter Cushing gets to have his moment in the sun as he lectures people at the dinner table about lycanthropy.
Each man, each woman, has a massive glands in the throat here, the lymphatic glands. Once it served a purpose, to secrete into the bloodstream a hormone, a fluid called lymph. Now this gland is the vital element in the condition that creates a werewolf. As the lymphatic hormone breaks down the molecular structure of the blood, so the victim, and make no mistake, the werewolf is a victim, begins to change identity. Now first the eyes, red, like those of a mad dog, then the body also. Finally, when the transmogrification is complete, the urge to eat human flesh is uncontrolled. To come. The werewolf will eventually die of its condition. Die one of the most painful and pitiful deaths imaginable.
That, of course, is just the highlights. He talked for over 5 to 6 minutes. After this lecture, Jan comes up with the idea that because silver is deadly to a werewolf, can't even touch it, he picks up a silver candlestick and they hand it around the table. Nobody seems affected. After dinner, Lundquist explains that it probably wouldn't have been because there's no wolfbane in the air. And wolfbane does not grow in England. Aha. But Tom just happens to have been cultivating wolfbane in his greenhouse. Although someone does make an attempt on his life when he goes to get some. Later that night, after everyone's settled down, Tom changes into his hunting outfit and prepares to get a nap while his security chief, Pavel, keeps an eye on things with all the cameras and microphones that are secreted all over the grounds and house. And it is here that the influence of Shaft raises its head. Now, I understand wearing black when hunting at night, but leather? Anyway, sometime in the late evening, early morning hours, there's movement on the estate, and Tom goes into action. Yeah, he missed. The werewolf, which we must remember, has human-like intelligence, even in wolf form, heads back to the house. And here's where we get our first look at it. Aww, it's cute. But on a more serious note, by the time Tom gets back to the estate, all's not well in the security room.
Pavel.
Yep. Pavel's had his throat torn out. Like all werewolf attacks. And the entire security system has been destroyed. Quick check upstairs. Everybody's accounted for. Next day, Tom disables all the cars and throws the parts he took out into the river. And he disables the phone. Nobody's getting away. After another attempt to assuage that none of these people are werewolves by doing the candlestick again, which again, nothing happens. Carolyn's had enough.
Let your passion for hunting turn into a bloodlust, and I'll have no part. This is what you wanted. Blood.
It's now time for hunt number 2. This time, he's using a helicopter.
Swing round!
We need to get into some craziness where the werewolf hides in an old barn. Half the cast shows up to see what all the shooting's about. And Tom's dog comes in to save the day. Unfortunately, the faithful dog is mortally wounded. And then the werewolf goes after the helicopter pilot. Maybe firing a machine gun in the direction of a helicopter wasn't the smartest idea for this hunter. Or I should say, experienced hunter. Pilot's dead, werewolf gets away, helicopter's no more. Tom pulls his wife away from the dog that she was trying to comfort, sending her back with Professor Lundquist. And when they're out of range, he shoots the dog with a silver bullet. Getting back to the house, he finds Bennington is not among the accounted for, so he goes to look for him. Well, everybody's had enough of this. They want to leave. Tom refuses to let them go. He's still got one more night of a full moon and chance to catch the werewolf. And they are trapped with no way to get away, as Paul discovers the next day. And we now interrupt our movie for this very important message.
This is the Werewolf Break. Have you guessed who the werewolf is?
Yep. Shades of William Castle. Just like in Homicidal. They give you a break, show you the suspects, and then have a little ticking clock to give you time to make your decision on who the werewolf is. Returning to the film. That night, Tom theorizes there could have been a covering on people's hands to keep them from getting contact with Silver. but they can't coat the inside of their mouth. And using silver bullets from his pistol, he has everyone take a bullet into their mouth. And the response is very unexpected. And now, for the first time in this film, Tom shows some emotion.
I killed her.
Tom is shaken. Also, he can't believe that his wife was the werewolf, actually. Dr. Lindquist explains that she wasn't the werewolf he was after. The dog had been bitten by the werewolf as it was dying. And as it was dying, she was stroking him. Now, she had had a cut on her hand. The dog's infected blood mingled with her blood and infected her. That means there's still a werewolf out there. And now we get the big reveal. So, Jan is the killer werewolf. This scene does give Tom the chance to say one of those macho bon mots.
One bullet left. That's sporting enough.
And so, we have our final mano a lobo confrontation. Now, the scene you've all waited for, the transformation. But that's not the end. For after Tom returns to the house, he realizes during the struggle, Jan had bit him. There's only one cure for lycanthropy. As he's about to administer that, the true cost of this obsession has hit him. Thankfully, they don't actually show it. They just cut to the outside of the house and you hear the gunshot. Leaving us with Lindquist and Davina stranded, I guess. Although I guess the servants would be coming back soon since he gave them the weekend off, so that'd probably be how they get rescued. I really like this film. It's a fun little whodunit. Very Agatha Christie setup, you know, sort of and then there were none, 10 Little Indians kind of thing. And what a cast. I mean, besides Lockhart, you've got Michael Gambon, Charles Gray, Marlene Clark, and Anton Differing. I mean, that's quite a cast right there. And all do excellent work. Lockhart at first seems almost unemotional. in his stoicism and obsession. But, you know, those two scenes after he ends up killing his wife and then right before he has to take his own, you can see the emotion coming through and his realization that his obsession with capturing this mythical creature has destroyed his whole life, his family, everything. And I love Cushing's accent in this. It's not bad. And he doesn't like lose it during some of the things. And he has a long monologue there in the middle of the film. And kudos. I'm sorry, but using a dog for your werewolf really doesn't work. Especially in those close-ups, it looks too cute. Seriously. Not the vicious beast we were expecting. Might have been better if they had gone the Lon Chaney route and just had a actor or a stuntman made up in some werewolf makeup. But is what it is, I guess. This story, I should say, the screenplay is based on a short story by famed sci-fi author James Blish, probably best known for his novelization of the original Star Trek series. I think he did like all the episodes as like short stories, and they got put out in a paperback collection. I remember reading some of them. They're not bad. They don't go into all the details that the episodes had, but as they are, they're kind of nifty. Very good film, I thought. And, as a mystery buff, I love the whole werewolf break where they, give you that Ellery Queen thing of breaking the fourth wall and challenging you to figure out who the killer is or who the werewolf is. And, some good action sequences, especially with the helicopter. And that was a great explosion. And as all good werewolf movies do, it has a tragic end. And please hit like, share, and subscribe. And stay after the credits for my favorite scene.